Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. We're on this train, and interestingly enough, for having to put this on YouTube at 1080p, I don't have to put it at that resolution, but that's what I record at. The game has gone even smaller from its usual 4:3 ratio, just to, I suppose, give the sense of being in a small train car, as it were. You can see in the background it's just pure blackness, no animation or moving background, which you would definitely expect for a modern game. We've got Nicole here, we've got George here, we've got this person to talk to, and we've got the cars, and we're supposed to do something. Yeah, this seems kind of cheap though. It seems like they should have just made it full screen and played with the scale a little bit. Well, let's talk to the old lady here.
Pardon me.
That doesn't look too much like a lady.
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time
Doesn't
we're due in
sound like a
Sterling?
lady either.
6:15, but we're running 8 minutes late.
So let's ask him about stuff. It seems like my inventory has changed in a weird way because we got rid of the clown nose. We haven't seen the clown nose in a long time, and now it's back.
Do you know Sterling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds abound?
Yeah,
It's one of the places we thought we'd see on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place, but we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
no.
So we're also having the echoey issue of it sounding like the audio was recorded in, I don't know, a bathroom or something like that. Not a recording studio with the foam on the wall. I could see this level section here might have been an early experiment while they were developing the game. Having the conversation have this hard shadow and the zoom in on people's, then it kind of explains what they're doing there a little bit better.
Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Sterling?
Yes, there is. And I know why you're going there.
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love. You're eloping, and they say romance is dead.
So, okay.
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
See, I almost wonder if maybe Broken Sword is based on a story. I don't think it is, but it almost feels like it might have been. It is also, I guess, worth pointing out Broken Sword came out many, many years before. What is that book that got made into a movie that was pretty popular?
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molly Pegram.
That's not.
I assumed
book
the
I'm
author
thinking
was a
about.
woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of his, though.
Didn't we meet a Professor Nigel Pegram? It's the Da Vinci Code. Yeah, that's the book I'm thinking about. That didn't come out until many, many years after this game came out, and has similar things. And then there was the National Treasure movies that have similar things. And yes, Indiana Jones certainly was out before this because they're referencing Indiana Jones in a few places in this game, but Indiana Jones never took it as far or as extreme with the conspiracies and secret societies and hidden treasures.
Would you believe that this clown's nose led us to being on this train tonight?
I would indeed.
No, honestly, You would?
Certainly. You have an honest face.
Yep. That's a nose with a history, all right.
So you said.
Interesting. That it's weird that we get the nose back. I don't know what I did to get rid of the nose. Like, I used it when I was pretending to be able to juggle. And then the juggler dropped his balls and left one, and I picked up a juggling ball. And after that point, I think the nose was gone from the inventory. And we had the ball, which then we gave to the kid in Syria. And we didn't get the nose back until this point. Interesting.
Does the name Merlin mean anything to you?
Merlin, a master of illusions. Oh, you said Merlin? Then no, nothing.
Do you know what this is?
Yes, I do. A young friend of mine shook my hand with one just the other day.
Yeah? Well, that's outrageous. He should be shot.
Perhaps. Still, his intentions were good.
I'm sorry that you've been zapped by one of these things.
You shouldn't be.
So we've had that whole conversation. Didn't really do anything. It almost feels like we're just killing time anyways. Let's leave.
Where are you going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me. If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Okay, I'm going to take a leak.
Wow.
L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
We have tickets, so...
That's a standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a senior citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to a third of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in puffling thriftiness.
Blimey, you're a funny old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Off to Stirling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something familiar about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
Was he one of the Templars in the meeting?
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet card, George. Unthinkable though it is, I am hungry enough to eat English food.
Okay.
So finally I get out of this section so I can do something more. And this is definitely weird now that it's taking up the whole screen. So we were in this cart, and I guess I can go to this cabin or this cabin. And as far as it looks, it doesn't seem like there's a way to move specific cars. And this is some kind of electric rail car in Burton? Weird. Let's see. I guess you can look out the window?
You haven't opened that window, pal.
Why not?
It's freezing out there.
So we've got a couple of fat guys. Let's talk to the guy that looks like he's
Hi.
awake.
Having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basher, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse my mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
So I can barely even understand what he's saying. Let's ask for a beer, I guess.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Right, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. Would you like a red nose?
No thanks, pal, I got one of my own.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Aye, man, he's chalky white and I claim my 10 quid, like.
No, he's an international assassin, and he goes by the name Khan.
Well, aye, man, but I was close, you know.
Do you know what this is?
No, man, what is it?
It's a hand buzzer.
You won't catch me out with that, pal.
If I'd wanted to catch you out, I wouldn't have shown it to you, would I?
Well, maybe it's his mate, pal. Like a clever double bluff, you know.
So we've started just showing the hand buzzer to people instead of
See you
trying
later.
to shock people's hands, which is weird.
I didn't want to wake him. To be frank, without a cold water hose, I didn't think I could wake him.
So these two people don't seem like they're going to really play any part in the story. Let's just move to the next one. Nothing in here whatsoever. Just an empty cart. And then I guess I can walk back this way. And now we're into private rooms.
Oh, no. That gangster creep from the hotel, Rydo. Well, he didn't scare me. Hey, Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of. Echo, Marquet's murderer.
So should I run back and try and protect Nicole? Or should I move forward? I guess I need to move forward.
The door was locked.
That's nice. One less room to have to deal with.
The door was locked.
One less room I have to deal with. And see, would this gangster not recognize me? I guess there's probably a decent chance of that.
I really didn't want to shoot the breeze with this guy.
So, this way we go, back over here. It seems like this train is full of people we don't want to be around. Let's see, I'm walking all the way over here, and there's nothing. Also, it seems like Nicole is missing.
I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved.
The girl you loved. Really not enough romance happened here to justify that statement at all. They really have been keeping it strictly business the whole time, as they said at the beginning of the game. So it's kind of silly to kind of just throw this romance in here. Let's talk to this guy and see if they saw anything.
Hey, buddy. Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't have tried nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans like. Slow action at Brightlingsea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict in anywhere called Brightlingsea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, pal, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, man. An old lady, too.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know.
No, she's been abducted. I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
See you later.
So we'll come over here and see if anything's different here. Nope. And then we'll come over here and see if we can do something different here.
The door was locked.
Yeah, I don't think girls are gonna go in pairs to a bathroom on a train.
The
Because
door
you're
was
almost
locked.
certain that's going to be an individual stall in the bathroom, and it's going to be pretty cramped and small at that. Do I have anything at all? This is weird. Let's go talk to this
I
guy.
didn't want to shoot the breeze with this guy.
Use this with him. Use this with him. Use this with him. And this door is locked.
The door was locked.
And this door.
The door
It's
was
locked.
locked.
So the only thing left that I can think of is maybe they'll let me go through the window this time. Yes he does.
Give it to it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
So up the train we go.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
Puts his alcohol down and he helps me up. And I assume you can't go this way. So this is the way I'm gonna go. And one would assume that I can't go any further this way. So we do have a background here moving, but it's still pitch blackness, and it's just a few dots and a occasional pole that, by the way, is not showing up behind the guy because of almost certainly a limitation of the graphics cards of the day that when this game was originally created. So we're here in the middle of this fight, and this is just a cutscene. So we
I
have...
was wanting to stop the train. And now was my chance.
Oh, he pulls the thing himself instead of giving me time to think about what I was going to do.
You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobbart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Demolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together, and Nico.
No, George. My journey ends soon at the Garden of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninian's.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great. A power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
Wow. This is almost exactly the same story as Assassin's Creed 1 and the rest of the series. How was this guy dressed up as an old lady when he has a scar of a crescent moon on his face? Interesting. They wouldn't have seen that. I think in the director's cut too, they cut out a timer there. because that certainly felt like it should have given me at least a couple minutes to say, should I talk to her and have some conversations? Should I try to lunge for the gun and him stop me and say, don't move? And then eventually I would, after a couple minutes, if I hadn't found the brake line, it would automatically cut the brake line. It seems like they, in the director's cut, eliminated that. And that would be kind of a shame, but not super surprising. I'm not sure I completely agree with some of the edits that seem like they've taken place. I'd have to play the original game back to back to be certain that these actions actually did take place. I guess right now, though, I need to talk to him about Bull's Head and everything else.
How did you escape from the Bull's Head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the Bull to the village Stobbart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness.
No way. No.
It's not marking it out. Let's ask about this.
No way.
No, nothing there either.
Maybe not.
So that's all we can say.
May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead.
Alright. And that puts us on page 21 of our marker. The gun, I suppose, fell off. And I suppose you could jump off any side, but let's talk to Nicole. And probably free her.
Don't worry. I hadn't forgotten about you.
Answer me this instant, George Stobbart.
I will. When I'm ready.
That's not fair, George.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die.
He
I thought
kissed
of all
her.
the things I'd never get to do. And kissing you was at the top of my list.
George,
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
And see, the gangster doesn't even seem like he was really playing a role. He was just acting as a character to block us from going further down the train the other way. Suppose it's our choice to go either way, but since we saw a bad guy go this way, let's go that way. Early the next morning, it seems like it didn't even matter. And it seems like we're gonna end the game at this church.
I'd feel
instead
happier
of
if we had a gun or something.
ending
Khan
it.
gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow.
Okay.
Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show them now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Apparently during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
So that's convenient enough. I imagine this castle has no real world equivalent. You had a detonator and C4 in your handbag and you hit somebody with it? Probably not a good move. We can just walk in here. And we have some puzzles to solve. And if I recall correctly, these were some of the most difficult puzzles in the entire game, being at the end of the game. And that certainly would explain some... maybe that's not exactly true, but I may just remember these puzzles because they were the last ones. Let's see, let's look here. This is the only time.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem.
Like, this is the only time Nicole is here, and I guess we could talk to Nicole. We probably should do that before we get too far.
The handle turned easily, and the larger wheel began to revolve.
And then
Damn! Then the
crank
handle
comes
came off in my hand.
Let's look at this gargoyle. Looks like there's something in the eyes and the nose and the mouth.
No. No. Maybe not.
So he's kind of saying no, he's not going to put his fingers in that. Let's look at the door.
I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move. Above the carved cross was an indecipherable inscription. For all I knew, it could have been inscribed in Gaelic.
So we have 4 interaction points all next to each other. Let's go ahead and talk to Nicole. Well, actually, let's not talk to Nicole. Let's end the recording here. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if the game is going to put me in the low 90s as far as percentage of completion. 93%. And ignore the fact that we're almost 71 hours into the game. That is not accurate at all. We've probably only been playing maybe, I wouldn't say less than 5 hours. No, it's got to be a lot more than that. It's probably closer to 20, I would guess. And if everything goes right, we may very well be done with the game in the next recording. It kind of sucks that you can't turn off the director's cut of this game. That seems like, for a remake, a necessity that's just missing here. And it also definitely feels like some of the choices in the director's cut were cuts for cut's sake. The added content that gave Nicole more to do at the beginning of the game kind of helps, but it's still in the middle of the game. She does nothing and plays very little role in this whole story, which is ridiculous. By modern standards, George Stobbart is kind of creepy kissing a girl while she's tied up. That would be ending a sexual assault charge, not a romance in more cases than the other. And we typically don't encourage such behavior like it used to be encouraged, or at least slyly looked upon and smiled upon. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, go to my main YouTube page. On the right is a button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.